X. You can find more information online at thinkthalen.com. Mark your calendar for October 22nd for the Subaru Loves Pet event at Thalen Subaru. Thalen, serving your automotive needs for 45 years.
WSGW News Time, 9:08. The weather forecast is next. Hundreds of students and community members rallied at Central Michigan University Sunday for a meet and greet with Governor Gretchen Whitmer. The election is now less than a month away. The first debate between Whitmer and challenger Tudor Dixon is on Thursday. Whitmer made 4 campaign stops Sunday, with the final one at CMU. Most of the rally attendees were students, most of them voting in a governor's race for the first time, but all of them are dealing with the cost of secondary education. October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, but that hasn't stopped criminals from carrying out hacks. Criminals focus their attention on sites where the most user traffic, like Facebook, which has approximately 2.9 billion monthly active users worldwide. Cybersecurity expert David Darajotis talks about the prevention measures you can take.
It's a very good idea to have very long, strong, complex passwords, but talking about Facebook in particular, set up multi-factor authentication. With Facebook, you can go in and take a look at all of the activity on your account, so you can see if somebody else has logged in and has accessed your account.
Darajotis says it's important to keep Android and Apple apps separate from social media accounts. Creating an account on an app with your Google or Facebook account could increase the chances of getting your information stolen. Michigan Democratic Representative Alyssa Slotkin is calling for younger representation in the Democratic Party. In an NBC interview, the 46-year-old Slotkin said Democrats need a new generation and new blood across the party. While she said she'd still support President Biden if he were to run in 2024, he is the oldest person to become president and will turn 80 next month. Other Democrats have already hit that age, including Speaker Nancy Pelosi. President Biden has not formally announced if he'll run for re-election in 2024. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 910. I'm Mike Burcha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Sunny and mild for today. Highs will top out near 75 degrees. Winds south-southwesterly 5 to 15 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Tonight, increasing clouds. Showers develop or build into the area. Lows drop to 57. South winds will be breezy 10 to 20. Higher gusts remain possible. Wednesday remains breezy. Showers likely. Highs approach 70. Winds south-southwest 10 to 25. Higher gusts once again possible. And then any showers and early Wednesday night, and those fall back to 45. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast.
Right now it's 39.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning and welcome to the Art Lewis Show. I'm Larry Rodarte and I'm filling in for Art this morning. Don't you just love the fall season? The other day I walked out in the morning and I felt the coolness in the air and I just took it in my lungs and it felt so good. The leaves are definitely changing and Michigan is beautiful. Are you surprised at how Bay City has changed in the last 10 years, 5 years with Uptown area and other parts of the city? If you haven't been to the city by the bay in a while, you will be quite surprised at all the change and growth. Well, today I have a young entrepreneur as my first guest this morning, and he has opened up a restaurant on 3rd Street and Johnson in downtown, and he's calling it Gilly's Bistro. Let's hear it for anyone who opens up a food business because they feed us, right? Well, let's welcome owner Billy Gonzalez to the Art Lewis Show this morning. Hello, Billy. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Larry. Thank you for inviting me on this show, WSGW. I greatly appreciate it.
And I can call you Billy or Bill or Guillermo is your full name, right? I know you as Billy.
You've known me 20 plus years, so definitely Billy is fine. But my real name is Guillermo Gonzalez.
And you're the son of
Ramiro Gonzalez and Nancy Gonzalez.
Yeah. We're gonna talk a little bit about that because a lot of people in the listening audience will remember Chico Ramos. Chico Gonzalez, and he had a store over on Elm Street in Saginaw. But let's talk about you, his son, Billy Gonzalez. Tell me a little bit about your background and, what kind of got you involved in the food business.
Well, I was born and raised in Reese, Michigan. Go Rockets! But my roots and where I grew up a lot in is in the Saginaw area. I was a member of St. Joe's Parish growing up. I was a part of the Latino Lowrider Bike Club when it first started. And, I was also a member of and graduated from the Hispanic Leadership Institute as well as working at my dad's store on Elm Street.
Yes. And the new restaurant in Bay City, Gilly's Bistro. Tell us, how did you come up with that name? And tell me the genesis of the actual restaurant.
Well, as you mentioned before, my real name is Guillermo. When I went to school, everybody called me Billy. So my family came up with the nickname of Gilly growing up. Basically, just taking the G off my real name and taking the B off of Billy and adding the G to Gilly. So that's how that came about.
Well, we are in the midst of Hispanic Heritage Month still, and I'm here filling in for Art Lewis. So I thought, well, let's talk to somebody who actually is involved in the Latino community, which you are, as you mentioned, and is doing some great things, because I see the post on Facebook. You just started. How long has the restaurant been open?
We signed paperwork on September 9th, and I got right to work on September 10th, which was a Saturday.
So, wow, a month.
Yeah.
Just a month.
Just a month in.
Wow. And tell me, why Bay City? Because, as you said, you have the connection to Reese as well as Saginaw. I've always known you just in Saginaw. So tell me about why Bay City.
Well, to be honest with you, I was looking up commercial properties on the internet, and this particular building just kept popping up. When I went to go visit it, the building had so much character, and I just liked the vibe that it had. So it does have an open kitchen concept, and I love that concept with my customers. So Bay City basically chose me, and I just went with it.
Now tell me, it's at 3rd Street in Johnson. What was formerly there, so that my listeners can know kind of where exactly you're at?
So it was previously called 3rd and Johnson Market,
right,
for 6 years. And prior to that, a lot of people knew it as Martha's Market, and it was Martha's Market for 30 years.
Okay.
So there's some deep roots there. It's been around in that area for a very long time.
As I mentioned in the start of the show here, are you surprised at the growth of Bay City in the last 5 years? Because I get blown away every time I go there. There's something new.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very impressed. I mean, prior to even purchasing this place, I would take my family there to, visit other small businesses, and we would hang out, and we love the area. It's a growing area, and the people are very positive, and they're very great out there. I really appreciate the customers that we have coming in there currently already.
And I think that what you mentioned, like, is the new vibe. There's a new vibe in Bay City as well. I go down there and I get my hair cut at the brothers are good friends, the Ortega boys, yeah. Donovan and Angelo,
okay.
Don Angelo's salon, and they've been there, one of the first businesses in Uptown, and it just continued to grow. I remember driving in there one time, and I just was like, where did this all come from? All of a sudden, overnight. I hadn't been there in a couple months, and so it's like all of a sudden there was this growth in Bay City. But then also you got, the downtown area, the old downtown area, which still is really viable, and I love just seeing that, the restaurants that have opened up there as well. So tell me, why did you get into the restaurant business? Because I know you wear a lot of different hats, and why restaurant?
Actually, it's been a passion of mine for a very long time. Anybody who knows me knows that, I love cooking. I started cooking when I was just a young kid. I was probably 7, 8 years old when I was already firing up the stove and cooking. So the passion's always there. I think I get it from my grandmother's side, the Gonzalez side, Manuela Gonzalez. She used to cook delicious Mexican food all the time. So just watching her, watching my dad, watching, being a part of all that just inspired me. And I just love the different, cuisines and Mexican dishes that are made.
And I remember your father in the El Farolito restaurant. He used to frequent there, and every time I'd go there, I would see Chico. His name was Chico Gonzalez. What was his real name?
Ramiro Gonzalez.
Ramiro. That's where I get the Ramos when I said Chico Ramos. But yeah, Ramiro Gonzalez. And actually, I knew him. I knew your grandmother, like you said. And they come from a long history of great food. And so, I would see Chico over El Farolito, and a little bit into the program, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the Mexican restaurants that we've had in Saginaw in our history for Hispanic Heritage Month. But, it's really nice to see that you are involved. You're taking that chance. You're taking that leap, because that's what you're doing. Here we are. We're coming out of a pandemic, and it's not the best of times to start a business, but for you, it is, right?
Right. I mean, like I said, it wasn't about the timing for me. It was honestly an opportunity that I saw, and I had no other choice but to venture it, and try it out.
Yeah. And sometimes those, the spontaneous attempts that we do take in life can, be really fruitful. So what can a customer expect when they come into Gillies?
Well, when they walk in, we have take and bakes, which are frozen homemade meals. We have chicken and beef and pot pies and lasagnas in there. Those are really popular. People come in and they buy those for their elderly parents who may not be able to cook or turn the stove on. So it's very convenient. They're already made. You just have to rewarm them. If you're short on time and you don't have time to wait for your food to be cooked, we have our Michigan cherry cherry salad on greens, and we have our turkey, ham, and roast beef wraps, where when you walk in, you can just grab them, pay, and go.
Well, you're making me hungry now. So, but we're going into commercial right now. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more about food, from roast beef turkeys and ham and black bean and sweet potato burgers. So we'll be right back.
I'm Jacob Hilliker, Bay County Road Commissioner. I believe we deserve more local road funding for the amount of taxes we pay downstate. We all know working people in Bay County have always had to shout a little louder to be heard in Lansing. That's why I'm here. I'm a proud union member, business owner, and I operate a small farm. I don't have time for the national partisan nonsense of the week. I'm here to do a job. Vote Hilliker. Paid for by Jacob Hilliker for Bay County.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well thought out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
At Menards, upgrade your home with new appliances. We carry top brands including KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, Amana, and Criterion, with the largest in-stock appliance selection to take home today at the lowest prices. You'll be sure to find what you need. Upgrade to new energy-efficient appliances and save with 11% off all of them. Savings good through October 16th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stock futures are retreating again with renewed concerns about a global recession. General Motors is getting into the electricity business. The Wall Street Journal says GM is starting an energy business to sell power storage units and services to homeowners and commercial clients. It's an expansion of its battery development work for electric vehicles. GM Energy will allow customers to transfer electricity from an EV or battery storage box to a home or building to protect against power outages and transfer electricity to the grid during off-peak times. Retailers are holding on to record levels of inventory, but the holiday shopping season is already underway with Amazon's Prime Early Access event today and tomorrow. Walmart, Target, and others are also offering sales. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Businesses don't run on automation or algorithms alone. What powers businesses are your people and the people they serve. At Cintas, your dedicated service reps understand what you need to help you keep your employees feeling safe, comfortable, and performing their best. So your business can too. For workwear, essential cleaning products, first aid and safety supplies, and fire protection services, visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
Art Lewis here for WSGW, inviting you to explore America's last frontier, Alaska, from August 30th to September 10th, 2023. You'll fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for the start of a 12-day land and sea adventure. Ride the stern wheel of discovery as you learn about Alaska's diverse culture and rich history. Then it's on to Denali National Park for a tundra wilderness tour. From Denali, you'll ride a luxury dome rail car to Talkeetna and stay at the Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a 7-night cruise. You'll see Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing the Inside Passage to your final destination of Vancouver, BC. Past experience tells us this will sell out fast. For a brochure, send your address to me and I will forward the brochure to you. Send to artlewis@wsgw.com. That's ARTLEWIS at WSGW.com. Alaska is calling.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. I am your host this morning, Larry Rodarte, and we're talking with Guillermo Billy Gonzalez, who opened up a business, a restaurant called Gilly's Bistro in Bay City. And we're here talking food this morning. So let's talk about the roast beef, turkey, and ham, and black bean and sweet potato burgers. What else do you have there offered at Gilly's?
So I'd love to take credit for all this delicious food, but Paul, who was the prior owner of 3rd and Johnson Market, actually is the originator of this particular menu. But when I purchased this business, he stayed on for about a week and a half to make sure that not only did I have the recipes, but I got on-hands training. So that was really great of him. I appreciate him doing that.
But then you also have the Mexican menu part of
Right. And that was only a matter of time. You know, I love the food that he originated and what was there. He had regular clients that were coming in already to purchase these items. So, but what I wanted to do is put my own flavor, my own taste to it. So I'm adding some Mexican items to the menu as well. And eventually I'd like those items to grow and add more. So that's really what the goal is.
And you've got tamales and you've got flour tacos. What's been your specialty, if you will?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's funny, but the quesadillas have really been selling a lot. People, it's a fan favorite. People are coming in 2 to 3 times a week to purchase one. So they're really enjoying my quesadilla right now.
Well, we have had a number of different culinary experts from the Latino community on Mi Gente on Air, my show on Sundays at 8 p.m. And to me, it just seems that there's just been this influx of Mexican entrepreneurs making foods. And I'm like, wow, there's quite a boom. There's quite a boom in the desire for it from the communities as well. And you hear about, all these taco trucks and everything else. So what's going on from your opinion, Billy?
I honestly, I just think it's in our heritage. I think it stems back from our ancestors on what we enjoy doing as a culture, as a people, as a heritage. Mexican food is fun to make. Growing up, we're used to making it together as a family. It's always been done during the holidays, and it's just deep rooted, I think, Larry.
Yeah, and tamale season is coming up. The Unión Cívica Mexicana is having their 13th annual tamale taste-off that's happening on December the 18th. That's something that hasn't happened in the last 3 years because of the pandemic, but it's, really a wonderful cultural experience when you actually make tamales. And it's something that I think a lot of people don't understand what it actually takes to get, to the table. And it's a lot of work, but I'm really excited for you because I know that you come, as you talk about your ancestors, you come from a long line of Gonzalez's that, my family knew as well. But your dad, Chico Gonzalez, we talked about him earlier. He had the street Chicos on Elm Street in Saginaw, and many people will remember him waving to the buses that would go by with the kids, or, tell me about, has your dad had a role in your endeavor here with Gilly's Bistro?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, it's his teachings that has gotten me to this point. He's always told me the man who thinks ahead stays ahead. He's showed me that, 90% of a sale is presentation. So, everything that he's ever showed me and taught me, I've always kept it, in my back pocket.
Yeah. And there was a post that you posted with a picture of you outside of Gilly's Bistro, and it reminded me of your dad. He was there waving. He had that wave, and he was just known for that. And
that wave actually has caused a couple car accidents, and I witnessed one of them once on Elm Street. So you got to be careful with the waving.
Well, when you said that, what did you say his saying was? The man who
thinks ahead stays ahead.
I can hear him say that. I can actually hear him say that. So kudos to Chico, the late Chico Gonzalez, your father. What's your daily grind there at the bistro? Like, I know you're going to leave here and you're going to get to work and you're going to open up by 10 o'clock.
Right. 10 a.m. We're open till 7. But I think most restaurant owners will agree with me. And I know I only have 1 month in, but prep. It's all about prepping, so when you do get those, bursts of customers where, it's a lot, you're already prepared to serve them, and you have it already set up for easy cooking, so basically, I start my day off. You can find me sometimes at Gordon's or sometimes at Sam's Club. It all depends. Always grocery shopping for the market, for the restaurant. And, it's right now it's currently a one-man show. So I work, when you come in, you order your food. I say hello, and I cook your food right there in front of you. So it's a really awesome experience.
And what would you say? You mentioned the quesadillas. What else do you think has become like the most popular item there at Gilly's?
Honestly, our tamales are selling really good. We're getting a lot of good feedback. It was a lot of the stuff that I'm trying to do is just trial. If it goes good, we'll keep it and put it on our main menu. So that's just really what the great thing about, a small takeout place like this is you can try it. If it works, it don't, then you don't have to do it anymore. But so far, we've been getting a lot of positive feedback on what we're selling.
And has there been people who have influenced you for this Gillies, or is this just coming out of your head and you just want to really try this as a young entrepreneur with a restaurant business?
Honestly, I have a lot of great friends that have pushed me. They see what my positive attributes are, and they encouraged me to move in this direction. None of this would be possible, obviously, without my lovely wife, Diana. She's always supported me and pushed me as well. And, I just appreciate all the friends, family, and my wife and my kids as well for helping me and supporting me.
Yeah, because I noticed like on the posts, it seems like it's a family affair. You got two real young ones under 10, and then your wife's there. She's grinding as well. So
yeah, definitely.
Has it been a surprise to you as somebody who's been in the manufacturing business for the last 15 years? Is it a surprise to you the gratification that you have as an owner of a restaurant?
No, I mean, it really warms my heart to own a business and to make my family a part of it and make my friends a part of it. I have friends that come and they help me move, coolers, or, they help me, wash dishes sometimes. So, everybody's helping, and I appreciate it. And honestly, I just feel truly blessed right now.
So if I come over from the Civica, I better bring my apron and get ready to wash dishes.
Definitely. Everybody's got a position there at Gillies Bistro for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go back into commercial real quick, and then we're going to come back and we're going to wrap it up with Billy Gonzalez and his talking about his Gillies Bistro in Bay City, the new restaurant.
Are you looking for something special? Something right for your needs? What about something with performance backed by unique germplasm? Well, we're here to help you find a soulmate for your soil. Your soil mate. With AgriGold, enjoy a seed made so specifically for your soil it feels like fate. And with a team that's with you every step of the way, it's never been easier. Find your soil mate at chooseagrigold.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for West Side Decorating. You are going to get a $100 gift certificate for only $50. West Side Decorating Center specializes in providing the materials needed for home repair and renovation projects. They carry paint, hard surface flooring, carpeting, and window treatments. Whether your next project entails simple repairs or professional remodeling, they've got the right equipment and products. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins. Everything you need, all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, Free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
On the next Markley, Van Camp and Robin show,
the latest excuse for high gas prices is a doozy. I, for one, cannot wait to hear this.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm Larry Rodarte, filling in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show today. And we're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, the end of Hispanic Heritage Month, which is October the 15th. And I've got Guillermo Gonzalez. We know him as Billy. And he opened up Gilly's Bistro in Bay City. And we have a caller who said that she wanted the times that the restaurant is opened. And she said that she wanted to know a little bit more about your menu and what she can get.
Well, Larry, we're open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. So 6 days a week. And we've decided as a family to take off Sunday. So Sunday we are closed. Sunday is our church day. We go to Greater Dimensions.
All right. Ava over there, Gonzalez, another Gonzalez, but you're not related, right?
No.
Right. Well, you've had a history, like I said, in the manufacturing business, but at one time you did work for La Placita. If many of my listeners out there remember, La Placita is on Michigan Avenue. It was Nancy Reese and her family. She called everybody honey. Yeah. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Tell me a little bit about that experience.
Well, I wasn't there very long, but I was there for long enough to learn, the kitchen aspect of cooking and how it is at a fast-paced restaurant. So I definitely got some good tips and some good learning experiences there. Everybody remembers the Reese taco,
Yes.
that was flying off the shelves over there. Believe me, I rolled out a lot of masa for those Reese tacos.
Okay, so when you come over to the Civica, you're gonna have to bring your apron
rolling pin
and start rolling for our patitos because I can't tell you how many times customers come in for our patitos and they talk about the Reese taco or El Gallito restaurant in there. And we're going to talk about that in the later part of the show for Hispanic Heritage Month, about some of those old restaurants.
Real quick, Larry, before I even had the opportunity to work at La Placita, Tony Garza gave me an opportunity to work at the old El Farolito on Washington. When I was about 12, 13 years old, I was a busboy over there. So that was really the beginnings of my restaurant experience.
Wow.
Shout out to Tony Garza.
Yes. And we're going to talk about him and his parents as well, because they were one of the long staples of Mexican culinary food in the area for so many years. And they're still over there at the SVRC.
Yes,
so that's really something. But Gilly's Bistro, I want my listeners to come out, give it a try. You've got soups there. Talk about the different soups.
Yeah. So on any given day, you can come in and there'll always be 4 to 5 soups there. We have a tomato basil. We have a garden vegetable for the gluten-free crowd out there. We have a cheesy potato with ham. And right now, I mean, those are mostly our house soups, but I always like to cook up a chili. So currently we have a chili there. And I always like to have like a experimental soup where I get to show my talents off and do something different. So that's always something to look forward to.
How about in the future, menudo or caldo de res, any of those soups?
Definitely pozole.
Oh,
I
pozole.
can knock out a good pozole. I'm not sure about the menudo yet. It's a lot. That's a lot of work.
And the meat is so expensive right now.
Yeah. I will say I just had TNT's menudo on Sunday, and it was delicious. Good job, Toyo.
Wow, we have a number of different Mexican restaurants and foods out there, and I know that it's become very popular. But I do remember the days when there was maybe one or two, and I can't even say I remember. Well, I do remember El Farolito when it was in Bay City at one time, believe it or not. And so, we've come a long way in terms of so many, like I say, so many young entrepreneurs who are starting to put their hands in the culinary aspects of Mexican food in the community. And Robbie D's is going to be opening up on at the Court Street there, Court and Michigan Avenue, and so that's going to be coming our way soon. And you have Alejandro's as well over on Holland. And what other restaurants are new in the Bay City area besides yours? Is there any, or is you the new kid on the block?
No, I mean, I am the new kid on the block, but there's always new businesses opening up. That's the exciting thing about Bay City is, there seems to be such a big entrepreneur spirit out there, and I can't wait to be more involved with like the small business community and join some of those groups as well.
Well, I know that you at one point were part of the Mid-Michigan Hispanic Business Association. Do you remember that? And
yes, very, very much so. Yeah,
that's something that we as Latinos today, we need to bring that back into the community, because it really was a kicking, a jump start for many of us who are now in businesses as well. And I miss that. I miss those monthly meetings and those gatherings and so many great friends that we had.
Well, let's get it started again, Larry. I think it's a great idea. It really put everybody's business on the map when you got together and you talked about what was going on, and what was up and coming.
Well, we have a caller also who asked what happened to Nancy over at La Placita, and if you still make some of her specialties. Do you know anything?
That's a good question. I really don't know too much on what happened with Nancy. And I mean, I do remember some of the recipes, but my recipes come from my family side of of the Mexican food and cuisines. So
yes. And you come from such a great stock. Your Aunt Dorina, she just celebrated 70 years being a nun.
Yes.
She's right up there with Queen Elizabeth, celebrating her Jubilee, and now Sister Dorina, and then of course your grandmother Manuela, and you've had your uncles, Matt Moreno's mother or father, Tony Moreno, and Gunzi, they call her.
Definitely come from a good stock, good family on both sides, Castile side and Gonzalez side. So, I'm just happy and I feel blessed to have, the family that I do have and the support that I do have.
And that's so important when you're in the restaurant business. So thank you so much, Billy Gonzalez. Guillermo Gonzalez is his official name, and he's got Gilly's Bistro over in Bay City. It's been a real pleasure having you today in helping you to promote this new restaurant. So Bay City, Saginaw, Midland, come on out to Gilly's Bistro over in Bay City on 3rd and Johnson, correct?
Yes. And Larry, like I said, thanks again for having me on here. I greatly appreciate it. I'm the new kid on the block, but, I always want to pay homage to the people and the restaurant owners that, have been doing this for many years, such as Maria's on State Street and Maria Elena's and, Cruz's Kitchen. Yes. And Sombreros, and everybody, Joe Stricker out there, and even Valerie's on Washington Street. You guys all motivate in some way or other, other entrepreneurs. So let's just keep the wave going. Let's all, support each other.
Adelante.
Yes. And be one.
Yes. Well, thanks again, Billy Gonzalez. And did you know that in 1968, President Lyndon B. Johnson started Hispanic Heritage Week? He was the president whose background included teaching in Cotulla, Texas, and was surrounded by many young Latinos. And remember, it was President Johnson who signed the 1964 Civil Rights Act in the East Room of the White House. Also, it was President Ronald Reagan who expanded Hispanic Heritage Week to Hispanic Heritage Month in 1988, celebrating the contributions of Latinos September 15th through October 15th. And that's why we're talking Latino entrepreneurs and businesses today as we are headed to the final days of Hispanic Heritage Month. But I celebrate throughout the whole year, as anybody who knows me, right? And why this time period? Well, September 15th is the anniversary of the independence of several Latin American countries, including Chile, Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala, while Mexico's Independence Day is September 16th. We're going to go into commercial again, and we're going to be right back talking more about Hispanic Heritage Month.
Your home is your haven, and the perfect window treatments can make it feel even more special. Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. During the Hunter Douglas Season of Style Savings Event, now through December 5th, save big with rebates on qualifying purchases of gorgeous shades. DeWalt Honeycomb shades provide year-round comfort in the home with an innovative cellular design. Silhouette window shadings filter natural sunlight to create a soft glow. Pirouette window shadings provide endless options for light control. Luminette privacy shears are an ideal choice for sliding glass doors. Don't miss the Season of Style Savings Event now through December 5th. Also, select Mohawk carpet featuring all pet protection and warranty are on sale now. The only carpet with protection and warranty for all pets and all accidents, providing soft, luxurious, smart strand, forever clean carpet. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room. Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth, celebrating 60 years in business. We'll help you bring it all together.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
From research to results, Rank Seed is rooted in technology. It starts with good genetics, and Rank Seed evaluates more than 80,000 data points of breeding material. By planting plots throughout the Midwest and Great Plains, we expose our genetics to a wide range of environments, which helps us select the best varieties. We then utilize the latest technologies, including robotics and color sorters, to ensure the highest germination and the best quality of seed, tirelessly striving to better serve our customers. Rank Seed, results since 1846.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
It's time to play the WSGW Football Bucks Blitz Contest presented by Ben at Roofmax. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $2,000 by entering this football word online at WSGW.com. The word this hour is marching. The marching band takes the field before every game. Marching. This is an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. The Football Bucks Blitz Contest presented by Ben at Roofmax on WSGW.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. I am your host, Larry Rodarte, and we just got done talking with Billy Gonzalez about Gilly's Bistro, the new restaurant in Bay City. And speaking of Bay City, I've got my first caller today, Sean from Bay City. And as I fill in for Art here, this is the first time I'm taking a caller because I don't take callers in on the Mi Gente on Air show. So, Sean, what do you have to say?
Hey, first and foremost, good morning. And I appreciate you taking the time for the call. Okay.
Thank you.
Second, first, I need to get this across. This is not meant to be offensive, what I'm going to say. It's not, okay? But it's meant to point out the ridiculous is what it's meant. Now, I understand you're of Latin American heritage, and that's cool. I'm from Franklin. I have a buttload of German in me. But my question would be, why do we always got to throw, instead of Latino, it's got to be Latino? Do you do that with German words?
Well,
you don't, do you? You don't.
I don't, because I don't speak German. And
okay,
the thing is,
it has nothing whether do you do it with Australian? Do you give the accent when you're going to Outback Steakhouse? You don't. It's ridiculous.
Well, growing up, to me, I was always known as Larry Rodarte. And, that was kind of how...
but now it's Rodarte.
Yes, because I want to showcase my heritage and my culture. And I think that's important. And I had a discussion with my father about it before he passed. And I said, Dad, we have always been, called Rodarte builders, because we assimilated into this culture here in America. And that's a great thing, but...
right. But here's what I'm trying to tell you. I am 100% German. I come from Frankenmuth, but my last name's Hacked. Right?
Your last name is Hack or Hacked?
Well, it's actually Hacked if you want to get it right, but that's how you say it in German, right? Yeah. But see, we don't do that. We don't go around. Now,
tell me, Sean, what's wrong? What's wrong with doing it?
I'm not saying there is anything wrong with doing it. What I'm asking is, how come you don't do it for everybody?
Well, first of all, I didn't know what your last name was, and maybe if I did, I might have said it that way.
What I asked you is, why don't you give the accents to every single ethnicity out there? You want to know why you don't do it?
Why?
Because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to do it. I understand. Hey, I'm proud of my German heritage, very proud of it. But when I don't just, focus in on my own heritage, that's kind of weird thinking to me. And the other thing I'd have to say is, and I mean no offense by this, but it's to prove that when you do National Black Month, National Mexican Month, National this month, National whatever, when do I get my month? I'm white. I want my German Heritage Month. How about Italian Heritage Month? How about Yugoslavian Heritage Month? Did they not contribute anything either? Sounds pretty insensitive to me and almost racist.
Well, the thing is that's a whole nother discussion for another show, really. And maybe that's something I'll invite you back on the program to talk about, because
that was sarcasm. That was pure.
No,
sarcasm.
I know, and my answer is as well.
And I mean no offense. But I'm trying to get through to you to honestly, because to the layperson out there, okay, to the layperson out there, when you do that and others do it, it's ridiculous.
To those
Why
people.
do you do that? Why don't you do it to everybody? Like I say, don't you? I mean, we could use the terminology or the thought process if you're not giving the proper tones and saying the words proper, if it's German or something like that.
So John,
you racist?
You would rather me just say I'm Larry Rodarte?
Correctamundo.
Oh, right.
Because I'm just Sean Hack.
Okay.
Right?
Well, we have to
That's
go. I have to cut you off here. We have to go into commercial, but thank you for the call, because it, really enlightens and brings awareness. Yeah.
No offense.
No. Okay. No offense taken. All right, we'll be right back.
I mean, no offense. Okay, thank you. Have a good morning.
Are you in the market for a new home, but saving enough for a down payment is holding you back? Members First Credit Union is offering a budget-minded mortgage solution that requires no down payment. No money down means you have the flexibility to buy a home without cash and finance up to 100% of the purchase price. To learn more about a no money down mortgage from Members First Credit Union, visit mfcu.net. All loans subject to credit approval. Equal housing opportunity lender.
Some politicians drive me nuts. It's like the rules just don't apply to them.
Uh-oh, what now?
It's that Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Is she one of those politicians who just spends and spends, making inflation worse?
Yes, but it's even worse with Rivet. She voted herself a pay raise on her taxpayer-funded salary.
Unbelievable.
And she was hiking her own pay while raising rates and fees for people like us.
We already can't pay our bills, and she's just making it worse. Only politicians like Kristen McDonald Rivet can get away with a scheme like that.
The worst part is, now she wants a promotion. She's running for state senate. Imagine what kind of damage she'd do if we send her to Lansing.
I'd never vote for a politician like Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Higher prices for us, higher salary for her. Say no to Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Paid for with regulated funds by the Senate Republican Campaign Committee, authorized by Annette Glenn for state senate.
The new Google Pixel 7 Pro is super, especially when it's on Verizon, the network America relies on. It's supercharged, super powered, and a super...
deal.
You know it. Now, switch to Verizon and get the Google Pixel 7 Pro on us with select trade-ins and select 5G unlimited plans.
That really is super.
Yep, there's never been a better time to switch to Verizon. $899.99 device payment purchase with new smartphone line on select 5G unlimited plans required. $200 Verizon e-gift card with port-in. Less $700 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions and additional terms apply.
Welcome back. I am Larry Rodarte, and I'm filling in for Art Lewis this morning, and we've got a great show coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. We've got Dr. Pamela Ross Mclean, who's from Delta College, and we're going to talk about her new position there as first chief officer of culture, belonging, and community building. And so we'll be right back with Pamela Ross Mclean.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Vicki Barker in London. Another day of deadly Russian airstrikes on the cities of Ukraine. CBS's Charlie D'Agata is in the capital, Kyiv.
Air raid sirens here and across the country. Zaporizhzhia targeted once again. The Ukrainian military said more than 75 cruise missiles were fired into Ukraine. Around 40 of them were intercepted. Roughly 24 Iranian suicide drones were used too.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will be meeting with G7 leaders at a virtual emergency session a little later. In Los Angeles, Nuria Martinez has stepped down as city council president after she and two other council members were heard using racially derogatory language in a leaked tape. But she and her two colleagues are refusing to resign from the council itself. Loyola law professor Jessica Levinson says,
It's difficult for colleagues to oust a member of the city council. One of the routes to try and remove somebody who the voters think is simply not fit to serve in office is to start a recall election.
The council meets again today. In Texas, Uvalde's school superintendent is going to retire, not resign, after 19 of his students and 2 of his teachers were gunned down in last May's massacre at Robb Elementary School. Reporter Chris Fox has more.
Dr. Hal Harrell announced his retirement hours after the Uvalde School District suspended its entire police department Friday. Inside the Monday night school board meeting, Marissa Lozano's sister, Irma Garcia, one of the teachers killed. You failed to protect Irma, Eva, and those 19 babies.
In Albany, New York, a call to organize against the world's biggest online retailer.
Dozens of workers and representatives of local unions marched onto Amazon's property in Schodack, New York, encouraging employees at the company's warehouse to say yes to the Amazon labor union.
You're going to sit at the table with me, and you're going to listen.
The employees are demanding higher wages and safer working conditions.
CBS's Wendy Gillette reporting. In Scotland, they're free to all women. In the U.S., so not. But one big drugstore chain is moving to ensure that periods take a smaller bite out of women's pocketbooks.
CVS Health will reduce the price of its store brand tampons by 25% in a dozen states where it can legally pay on behalf of consumers. It's intended to offset taxes that are making tampons hard to afford.
CBS's Deborah Rodriguez, and we'll need all the financial relief we can get. The IMF has just warned that ongoing disruption from the war in Ukraine means the worst is yet to come for the global economy. And the Supreme Court has just rejected an appeal from Dylan Roof, who challenged his death sentence and conviction in the 2015 racist slayings of 9 members of a Black South Carolina congregation. This is CBS News.
You need to hire? Indeed is with you every step of the way, helping you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Had your family's eyes checked lately? Most insurances end at the end of the year, so if you don't use it, you lose it. Now's the time to get that annual exam you've been putting off. Having school-aged children's eyes checked can help treat possible issues with schoolwork and prevent other eye-related diseases. To make an appointment with Dr. Cox, Dr. Kazmarek, or Dr. Engel at their Saginaw or Hemlock locations, call 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated.
Is there anything better than just sitting outdoors enjoying nature? Well, I mean, I guess this chair could be a recliner. That'd be better. But there definitely wouldn't be anything better than that. Unless, of course, the recliner had one of those fancy built-in massagey things. Oh, and a bacon skillet.
There's always a better way to do things. With triple stacked Enlist E3 varieties for proven performance, Zetavo soybean seed is seed done right. Zetavo from MS Technologies is distributed exclusively by BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
What's your least favorite season? Now, if you're like me, it's cold and flu season. So get relief from it this year with Mucinex DM. With cough and chest congestion relief for 12 hours in just one dose. That's 3 times longer than 4-hour products. Mucinex DM makes any season comeback season. Even cold and flu season. Get 3 times the relief in just one dose with Mucinex DM. It couldn't be simpler. Nothing lasts longer among over-the-counter cough and cold remedies. Mucinex DM provides 12 hours of relief for chest congestion and cough, day or night. Use as directed.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 54 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Dent. Grand Rapids police were investigating a two-vehicle crash just after 1 this morning when they found a woman in a vehicle who had been shot. A preliminary investigation shows the suspect was a passenger in the vehicle that the shooting victim was driving. She was pronounced dead at the scene. No one else was injured in the crash. Police are looking for the suspect who fled on foot. A second Iosco County elected official is facing legal troubles. Last week, an East Tawas councilman was arraigned on charges of solicitation for murder, and Monday, County Commissioner, a 63-year-old Charles Finley, faced charges of impersonating a police officer. According to police, on September 28th, a Hale Community Schools bus stopped at the South Branch Fire Department to allow students to exit when one student was discovered to have a bloody nose. While the bus driver was determining if the student needed medical help or if an assault had occurred, police say Finley indicated that he was an Iosco County Sheriff's deputy and detained the bus and its occupants for about 20 minutes before Michigan State Police arrived. Finley, who is a deputy fire chief, was lodged in the Ogama County Jail but has since been released on bond. The Republican is also running for re-election to the Board of Commissioners. Beginning in January, Medicare participants could be getting a break on food costs, thanks to a new plan from 2 well-known companies. Here's Michigan News Network's Tony Ortiz.
Those 2 companies are Priority Health and Kroger, who are teaming up on 2 new co-branded plans that are designed to help the needs of those who are on Medicare in 8 counties, including Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne counties, something that Priority Health's Shannon Walker says is a priority for that company.
We say our members are our neighbors.
We know that the cost of food has gone up, that many are suffering from food insecurities, and want to do our part to make sure that we're building out products that really meet the needs of our members.
Eligible members who enroll in those two plans will get extra benefits that will help them get allowances that could save them money on the purchases of healthy foods, as well as needed health and wellness products. For more information on this plan, you can visit PriorityHealth.com. For the Michigan News Network, I'm Tony Ortiz.
WSGW News Time is 10:07.
You have a family doctor. Do you have a family plumber? When you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling problem happen in your home or business, you need to be able to call a professional that you can rely on and trust to make the repair or equipment replacement. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been the professional homeowners and businesses trust for 65 years. Whether you're looking for an emergency water heater replacement or planning a new heating system installation, you can trust Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to provide quality service and installation. Reamer has the equipment to fit every budget, experienced estimators, and state licensed technicians to install. Trust a professional to do the job right. Call Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Visit them on the web at reamerplumbing.com.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
WSGW News Time is 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. A 41-year-old man was shot in Saginaw last Friday. Police responded to the area of Frew and Weber around 12:25 a.m., where they found the victim inside a vehicle suffering from at least one gunshot wound. He was taken to a local hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries and is currently listed in stable condition. The Saginaw Police Major Crimes Unit is investigating the case. Anyone with information is asked to call the Saginaw Police Department or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-422-JAIL. While serious cases of COVID-19 have been on the decline, many health experts are expecting flu cases to be on the rise this year, with pandemic-related restrictions and precautions having been lifted. Here's Michigan News Network's John Hewitt.
As a result, people are being encouraged to get those flu shots, even for children as young as 6 months of age and up. Bon George is Division Health and Wellness Leader for Kroger Health.
Vaccinations are the best preventative measure to protect ourselves and our loved ones against the flu, especially with COVID still circulating. So if you're not doing it for yourself because you're a healthy individual, please do it for those around you.
George says the claim that vaccines can actually give one the flu is a myth because they contain inactivated viruses. And she says it is also safe to receive both your flu shot and COVID booster vaccine at the same time, if you're due. John Hewitt for the Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Jonathan Dent.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Mostly sunny skies here for today with a high into the mid-70s. Southwest winds are on 5 to 15 miles per hour. And then for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy sky conditions with a low around 56. Wednesday, chance for showers and storms, cloudy, high around 70 degrees. Then by Thursday, a chance for rain showers, partial sunshine develops, and a high around 54. Friday, partial sunshine, a high around 50 degrees. Then by Saturday, partly sunny skies, a high around 54. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 44.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning and welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. I am your host, Larry Rodarte, and I'm filling in for Art this morning. Did you know that Delta College recently appointed its first Chief Officer of Culture, Belonging, and Community Building? They hired Dr. Pamela Ross Mclean into this role to focus on developing a center that will support transformational change with belonging, equity, diversity, and inclusion at its core. Dr. Ross Mclean comes to Delta College with a variety of experience in both secondary and post-secondary education. Her previous experience includes serving as a tenured professor of education at Saginaw Valley State University and at the University of Michigan Flint. Let's say hello to Dr. Pamela Ross Mclean.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a part of the Art Lewis Show this morning. I want my listeners to know the background of who exactly is Pam Ross Mclean.
Well, I actually grew up in Saginaw, Michigan. Went to school here, elementary, middle, and high school. I've been a member of this community for a long time, outside of the time that I spent going away to college. I studied at the University of Michigan as an undergraduate. I continued my studies in Africana Studies at Cornell University, and I finished my doctorate at Michigan State University. But Saginaw has been my home base for all of that time. So it's really a great honor to be back working within my community.
So how exciting it must be for you with this position after an extensive search. They have chosen you for this new position at Delta College. Can you explain what exactly it entails in this position and the center?
So this position, as the very long and all-inclusive title suggests, is to really work towards creating a greater sense of culture, belonging, and community at Delta and within our service sectors within the Great Lakes Bay region. And so essentially our new president came in really wanting to prioritize making sure that Delta College's faculty, staff, and student body reflects the communities that it serves. And so he created a position within his cabinet, which is just one of the first building blocks that will be put in place. As it stands right now, I am essentially an office of one, but I look forward to growing it as well as developing a center because space matters. People need spaces where they feel like they can go be seen, receive support, and where we can promote programming that will both support our internal community as well as our external community. So that's a bit of the work that I will be doing at Delta College.
Well, you mentioned you're an office of one, but you have people like me who support you and you have friends and you know you're going to do really well in that position. And I think that it's exciting to hear, that you have a position like yours, and it does have a long title, but as you and I have discussed in the past, when we went to higher education, I did attend Michigan State University as well as you did in getting your doctorate. Those positions were essential. They were important for people of color who would go to the schools, these universities, and sometimes feel like they didn't belong there, right?
Oh, you're 100% right about that. In fact, part of the work that I think really gave me a passion for this job is my years at Michigan State University. At that time, I worked in the Office of Minority Student Affairs, and they had coordinators that dealt with all the largest racial and ethnic minority groups. And the programming that they did, the supports that they put in the residence halls, minority peer advisors, they were called at that time, just the care that they took in making sure that students weren't falling through the cracks. Because for a lot of students, you leave home and you're the star of your high schools, you're the best and the brightest. And then you get in universities and you're having to compete, with people from all over the nation and all over the world. So sometimes you just need that place where people are rooting for you, where you can go and get support if you need it, and you can get inspiration. And so I would like to be a part of the folks who are helping that next leg of work. We broke down the barriers whereby people were given access, but now we want that access to walk hand in hand with achievement. And that's part of the work that I'm doing here. So yes, thank you for reminding me that I am not an office of one, that I have wonderful community partners as well as internal partners. At this point, a lot of the work that I'm doing is consulting with my colleagues here, because the president has made this not just my job, it is everybody's job to look and see where there are opportunity gaps and where we can make sure that we are tightening those up so that we're not losing students when we can actually support them.
Nicely said. I read somewhere where you said you look forward to making sure everyone feels seen and valued in Delta's educational community. Tell me about this.
Well, here's the thing. If you think about our 4 parents, they broke down the barriers of access. I mean, my parents didn't have the option of going to integrated schools, right? So we've opened up the doors, but have we really been good stewards of what that access has made for students? So for example, we're looking at Delta in a way that says, okay, what does our curriculum look like? Does our curriculum reflect a broad spectrum of perspectives? What do our walls look like? What does our menu look like? What do the programmings we invest look like? And then finally, if you scan through our directory, what do the employees of our institution look like? And we want those areas that I just mentioned to reflect the diversity of the communities that we are here to support. And so when I say that I want everyone to feel seen and valued, being in college is a time of discovery. You figure out who you are, and students shouldn't come here and feel like they have to forfeit their identities in order to fit in. Their identities should help to transform this culture so that it reflects not only our, neighboring communities, but also the world, because that's what colleges are created to do.
Yes. And it's funny that you kind of say that after my last caller. Sean from Bay City, I hope you're listening, but can you tell us, Dr. Mclean, can you tell us about how it's been going for you there at Delta since August 1st when you began?
Things have actually been going well for me. I have felt very welcome at Delta College. From the time I got here, there was a sign on my door, "Welcome to Delta College. We are glad you're here." And my colleagues here, I appreciate in particular, because while they realize that they don't have all of the answers, at least now we're asking the right questions. You're never going to get the right answers if you're asking the wrong questions. And so consequently, our president has tasked us to embrace what we call our BEDI framework, belonging, equity, diversity, and inclusion framework. And this framework encourages us to think about the students that we are attracting. What are our enrollment trends? What are our successes? Are we retaining these students? And are these students completing a degree with us? We are also looking at our employees and who we're hiring, who we're not hiring, how we're evaluating people, who's getting promoted here. We're thinking about our culture and what does our leadership and governance structure look like? What are people saying about our climate here? Because one of the things that I have been saying is that if you don't have a faculty and staff that feel a sense of belonging, it's going to be hard for us to create that sense of belonging for our students. So when we talk about creating a better climate here that's free of bias, right? If we look into our disciplinary data or our police interactions or academic integrity issues, we shouldn't see a disproportionate number of people of color being represented in those infractions. So all of this stuff is a new way of thinking about how we do business and what the outcomes are. And I have found that my colleagues are up for that work. We're all in different places, but we're all headed in the same direction. And that direction is making sure that Delta College is an inclusive place. We don't just want to be someone who is taking up this work. We want to be a leader in this work. And so I feel really honored that the president chose to create my position at the highest rank and has room for adding on additional support so that we can all be invested in this work.
Nicely said. We'll be right back with Dr. Pam Ross Mclean. We're going into commercial.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh and Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Dana Cortez, and I'm married to DJ Automatic. And when it comes to big life decisions, having options is something I value for our family, especially when it comes to saving money. That's why I love State Farm.
State Farm knows everyone has a budget, and they've got options like insuring your car and your home, getting you great rates on both, or they can help personalize your policy with options so that you can get a surprisingly great rate.
I love that option. Saving money, that's what it's all about. So we bundle our home and our car. So for surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks lost ground at the open after the Nasdaq closed Monday at a 2-year low. The International Monetary Fund is predicting global economic growth will likely slow next year more than previously expected. The IMF says living conditions will worsen as soaring inflation harms people's lives around the world. American Airlines says its sales in the summer quarter are looking better than expected, so it is raising its forecast. Though it was flying less than 3 years ago, passengers are paying more for tickets, so it sees revenue up 13% from before the pandemic. Joby Aviation shares are rallying after Delta Airlines decided to take a stake in the all-electric air taxi company. Delta hopes to eventually shuttle customers to airports. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Hi, I'm Lisa Booth for Bishop Gold Group. Are you worried about your financial future as retirement gets closer? All over the country, soon-to-be retirees are fearing for their financial future as markets remain volatile. Bishop Gold Group helps you invest in gold and gold IRAs to protect your wealth and retirement during times of high inflation and wild swings in the market. Secure your future today. Contact Bishop Gold Group by dialing pound 250 from a mobile phone and say the keyword Bishop Gold or visit bishopgoldgroup.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, ProstaStream, Prostagenics, and others. Want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com. Prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
On the next Markley, Van Camp and Robin show, the latest excuse for high gas prices is a doozy.
I, for one, cannot wait to hear this.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
Back. Hello, I'm Larry Rodarte, and I'm filling in for Art Lewis today on the Art Lewis Show, and we have Dr. Pam Ross Mclean, and she is at Delta College there, and she has a unique position that is really exciting for students who are coming in. And when you talk about a center, is there an actual center there? Is it your office? Is it somewhere that you meet with students? Tell me a little bit about that.
So we currently don't have a center, but that is one of our aims in growing this work that I'll be doing. And essentially, you know, as we develop the center, it will be an outgrowth of myself and additional folks that may be coming on board soon, and just finding the right space to house a center. The nice thing about having a space, which is one of our not so long-term goals, is that people know that they can actually come somewhere. Right now, if people wanted to come somewhere, that somewhere would be my office, which is at B144 on the Delta College main campus. They can also reach out to me by emailing me at pamrossmclean@delta.edu. And so when I say folks who can reach out to me, that, you know, while my work here is primarily in support of creating a sense of belonging for the racial and ethnic minority students, as well as the LGBTQ students who may have a disability, any group that is historically marginalized, we have wanted to put specific supports in place for those students. And I am a part of those supports, but also all students who may want to learn more about how they can ratchet up their intercultural exchange. This is not just a matter of, you know, providing services for the students that I've mentioned, but really all students. We want all students to experience being educated in an inclusive environment. But I promise you, when we do have a fully functioning center that students can come to, I'm going to come back and talk to you about that, because we not only want it to be a place for our students, we want it to be a place for the communities that we serve as well, so that folks know, you know, we really are a place that can provide community outreach as well as resources to support the Great Lakes Bay region.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Dr. Pam Ross Mclean. It has been a pleasure. I look forward to working with you in your capacity there at Delta College, because I know great things are going to happen for our students. And one of the things, you know, as we sign out with Dr. Pam Ross Mclean, they are sponsoring Delta College, the Latin Kings of Comedy, this Saturday at the Temple Theater. And it's part of what is their Hispanic Heritage Month celebration at Delta College. So thank you for that as well. Any last words, Pam?
No, just thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be in your presence, and I appreciate you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're going to be right back with Dennis Gaxiola. He is one of the stars, the comedians who is going to be performing on Saturday, October 15th at the Temple Theater with the Latin Kings of Comedy. We'll be right back.
Some politicians drive me nuts. It's like the rules just don't apply to them.
Uh-oh, what now?
It's that Kristen McDonald rivet.
Is she one of those politicians who just spends and spends, making inflation worse?
Yes, but it's even worse with rivet. She voted herself a pay raise on her taxpayer-funded salary.
Unbelievable.
And she was hiking her own pay while raising rates and fees for people like us.
We already can't pay our bills, and she's just making it worse. Only politicians like Kristen McDonald Rivet can get away with a scheme like that.
Worst part is, now she wants a promotion. She's running for state senate. Imagine what kind of damage she'd do if we send her to Lansing.
I'd never vote for a politician like Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Higher prices for us, higher salary for her. Say no to Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Paid for with regulated funds by the Senate Republican Campaign Committee, authorized by Annette Glenn for state senate.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for West Side Decorating. You are going to get a $100 gift certificate for only $50. West Side Decorating Center specializes in providing the materials needed for home repair and renovation projects. They carry paint, hard surface flooring, carpeting, and window treatments. Whether your next project entails simple repairs or professional remodeling, they've got the right equipment and products. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Get more for your Medicare dollar, Michigan, with the $0 premium Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With a United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan, it's easier than ever to get more for your Medicare dollar, including better than ever dental, vision, over-the-counter, and prescription drug coverage. Take advantage. Call United Healthcare today at 989-860-7607. That's 989-860-7607. Benefits, features, and or devices vary by plan or area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
It's time to play the WSGW Football Bucks Blitz Contest presented by Ben at Roofmax. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $2,000 by entering this football word online at WSGW.com. The word this hour is catch. Did you see that catch from Amon Ross St. Brown? Catch. This is an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. The Football Bucks Blitz Contest presented by Ben at Roofmax on WSGW.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
Good morning, buenos dias. Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. I'm Larry Rodarte, and I'm filling in for Art this morning. And this coming Saturday, October 15th, the Latin Kings of Comedy will be performing at the historic Temple Theater. 5 comedians, which include the great Paul Rodriguez and his friends Joey Medina, Gilbert Esquivel, Johnny Sanchez, and Dennis Gaxiola. They are on tour, and we are fortunate that they're stopping in the Great Lakes Bay region. Well, my next guest is one of the stars of the Latin Kings of Comedy, Mr. Dennis Gexiola, who is dubbed one of America's cleanest comedians. The Preacher's Son gained notoriety from his appearance with Jamie Foxx on Comedy Central, BET's Comic View, and Stand-Up Revolution with Gabriel Iglesias. He's also known for Dry Comedy Bar comedy. We're lucky to have this talent coming to Saginaw. Let's welcome Mr. Dennis Gaxiola to the Art Lewis Show. Good morning, Dennis. How are you?
Good morning. I was wondering who you're introducing. I was like, man, I am clean, though. I take a shower every Saturday.
Well, I want to thank you for getting up so early because I know you're over there on the West Coast and it's pretty early. And I asked you if you wanted to be on the early morning at 6 a.m. your time or 7:30, and you chose 7:30 wisely, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for being with us. And tell me, how did this show come about with all these great comedians? You got 5 of one of the top Latino comedians in the country. How did it come about?
Well, it's the 20th anniversary of the original Latin Kings of Comedy. So there's a new organization in Hollywood called Chicano Hollywood that is trying to bring attention to second and third generation Latinos. Let Hollywood know that not every movie that includes us has to be in Spanish, that we are English speaking people too. And then they decided to develop a comedy division, and they reached out to me and said, hey, what can we put out there? And we collaborated with Paul, and we came up with this lineup. We're all friends. We're all brothers. And this is a lineup of, I think if we added it up, there's like 200 years of comedy almost between the lineup, and it's, there's something for everybody from Paul and his nostalgic stories that are hilarious, to Gilbert is from Saginaw originally. He's got family in Saginaw, Michigan, and he's hilarious. He's our host of the show, and he just sets it off. And then we go from there. Joey is part of the original Latin Kings of Comedy, and Johnny is recognized from Mad TV. And then me, I have 150 million views on my Dry Bar special. It's a clean comedy special that God is blessed with with I literally watch myself go viral. I was like, wow, okay, this is what it's about. So it's a great lineup.
Well, they call you America's cleanest comedians. Tell us about that, being clean as a comedian, because that could be difficult in this day and age, right?
It's very hard to be clean because it's so easy to go for the gutter. But I not only my dad was a pastor, but I'm a minister myself. So to be able to go out and make people laugh in the market without being vulgar, it does take a little more time, a little more crafting. You have to be a little more creative. It's easy to do the cheap joke. So it's something I pride myself in, from being able to go from churches to colleges to concerts. If it starts with a C, I could perform there.
Well, that really is a talent, because like I said, this day and age, what drives you? What makes a comedian get up in front of people and make them laugh?
It's a powerful drug. The ability to go in front of an audience and say, I'm talking 30 seconds to set up a joke, but to know at the end, I'm going to pull a string and the whole audience is going to laugh. That's a powerful high, and laughter is good medicine. The good book says that. So
yes.
I laugh seeing the audience laugh. I get it. It's a wonderful art. And I feel like I'm one of the luckiest people in the world. I literally go out and have people laugh, and they feel better when the event's over. And every once in a while, there's somebody that came in with an agenda that wanted to be offended, so we offend them.
Well, your timing is impeccable. I have listened to you. I've watched you on your shows and on YouTube, and it really is a special talent for someone to get up in front of people and make them laugh like you do. So kudos to you and all those that are coming. What will the Saginaw audience have in store for them on this Saturday, October 15th?
Well, you're going to see a legend, Paul Rodriguez. He truly is the original Latin King of Comedy. Because after Freddie Prinze, if you know your comedy history, after Freddie Prinze, there was nobody. And then Paul took the reins, and he was a groundbreaker. And so you get Paul, and then you get to realize that there's more than 4 Latino comics out there. Some people in social media have seen comments where, well, where's George? Where's Carlos? Where's Fluffy? We're friends with all those guys. It's just a matter of there's also Joey and Johnny and Gilbert and me and a ton of other comics. That's part of Chicano Hollywood's goal, is to raise up awareness that, man, we're not just 4 comedians. We're actually starting another show the week after, the Kings and Queens of Latino comedy. And we're showcasing some of our Latinas, man, and it's a fun show, and you won't leave disappointed. You're gonna leave going, wow, and be proud to be Latino and to see the Latin Kings in your town.
Yeah, well, Paul, I had Paul on my show a few weeks back, and he talked about Gilbert Esquivel, who, like you said, has family in Saginaw. He's the dresser of the group. He's going to be the MC, and he's going to introduce all these comedians. And like Dennis here said, Paul Rodriguez is a legend. He really is. And he started, almost has a career of 40 years. And those who may not know, Freddie Prinze, back in the day, with Chico and the Man, he was on, I think it was ABC, and he's a comedian. I'm not talking about his son. I'm talking about the original Freddie Prinze Sr., as they may have called him. But then came Paul Rodriguez, and it's amazing to see. Then came George Lopez and Fluffy, like you said, and we have other comedians that are going to showcase the show on Saturday in Saginaw. So it's a wonderful thing that's coming. Can you tell me about your last name, Dennis? Gaxiola, because I've never heard that. I'm not familiar with it. And where does that come from?
It comes from Spain. It's actually Basque, but three brothers were in Spain with the name. One stayed in Spain, one went to Italy, one went to Mexico. And the one that went to Mexico had 42 sons. And I'm part of that. That was my great grandfather. And so in the Western states, we're growing. There's about 5,000 of us now. And I have 6 of them, but we're growing. And if you meet a Latino that's with the last name Gexiola, he's my cousin.
Right. So well, you're out there in California, and how would you say are the audiences over in California? Are they more brutal, or than say like the Midwesterners and the audience and what you're going to be exposed to on Saturday?
I think in California you'll run into some of those Latinx kids that want to be politically correct. And I don't understand the whole Latinx thing. 3% of Latinos identify with it. I thought Latinx. I thought we finally had a civil rights leader. We haven't had one since Cesar Chavez. I thought we had our own Malcolm X. It's gonna be Latinx. So you run into people with more of a political agenda. A small group of people. The Midwest. I think when we do shows out in the Midwest, out in the South, or over whatever Texas is considered, it's people just come out to have a good time, and we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I think that's what we need. We need more laughter in this world. And so I'm really excited about the show on Saturday. And I want to invite all the listeners out there at WSGW to come on out to the Latin Kings of Comedy at the Temple Theater, October 15th. And right now we're talking with one of the stars, one of the comedians, Dennis Gexiola. He's out in California, and he got up real early to be with us this morning. But we're going to go into commercial real quick, and we'll be right back with Dennis Gexiola.
Hello. I'm here for Pioneer brand seeds in a particular part of a cornfield to make a particular point. Right here where I'm standing? Yes, you can plant Pioneer brand Chrome products right here. That's because Pioneer has a more extensive lineup of Chrome products than before, each one providing top yield potential and strong agronomics to fit corn rootworm pressure here, there, and everywhere. Your most productive acres? Yes. Your toughest? Yes. Dry soil, wet soil, clay soil, sandy soil? Yes, and you bet. Top of the hill, side of the hill, bottom of the hill, over the hill? All the above? Doesn't matter. There's a Pioneer brand Chrome product that can meet or exceed your yield goal on every acre, including the one I'm standing in right now. Contact your local Pioneer sales representative about Pioneer brand Chrome products. Field proven and ready for yours.
I'm Jacob Hilliker, Bay County Road Commissioner. I believe we deserve more local road funding for the amount of taxes we pay downstate. We all know working people in Bay County have always had to shout a little louder to be heard in Lansing. That's why I'm here. I'm a proud union member, business owner, and I operate a small farm. I don't have time for the national partisan nonsense of the week. I'm here to do a job. Vote Hilliker. Paid for by Jacob Hilliker for Bay County.
Brunches, chef specials, date nights, happy hours. Moments like these are made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine.
My taste buds have missed this.
So let's savor this moment. Keep the dining out going. Keep the togetherness going by keeping your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Find your vaccine at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
It's time to play the WSGW Football Bucks Blitz contest presented by Ben at RoofMax. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $2,000 by entering this football word online at WSGW.com. We apologize for giving you the wrong word just a few minutes ago. This is the correct word. And this hour, band, as in the marching band plays the fight song. Band. This is an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. It's the Football Bucks Blitz contest presented by Ben at RoofMax on WSGW.
Welcome back. Good morning. I'm Larry Rodarte filling in for Art Lewis this morning, and we're giving some great exposure to the Latin Kings of Comedy, who will be performing at the Temple Theater this Saturday, October 15th. And we have one of the comedians here with us in the room, Dennis Gaxiola. Dennis, welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you for having us.
You know, you're a preacher's son. You mentioned it, and everybody knows that. Was it really difficult for you to be a comedian? And does the comic gene run in your family?
Yes, it was. And I wasn't always a clean comedian. And then when I found my own relationship with Christ, I had to clean up my act. Comedy, you know, a big Latino family. My mom was the oldest of 9. So her youngest siblings were our uncles and aunts, but they were also our friends. And it would be hours of clowning on each other, capping on, you know how it is. This was the size of my head when I was 2 years old. So I got teased my whole childhood. So I know some of the white comics will ask me, how are you so quick-witted on stage? You know, how do you clown on people so quick? If you're Latino, you grew up like that. You grew up, you know, you have to have thick skin. We tease each other. But that's all love.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, you mentioned the other comedians. You're all friends. Paul Rodriguez, Joey Medina, Gilbert Esquivel, Johnny Sanchez. Do you guys sometimes share jokes or styles, or, you know, especially like when you're in a setting like the Latin Kings of Comedy, you're all performing? Tell me a little bit about that.
You know, that's what's great about this show. We're all unique. You know, we might tag a joke. Hey, Johnny, if you say this, you know, Gilbert, man, that joke, if you try it like this, we might do that with each other. But, you know, Gilbert is the homeboy. Johnny is like a comedic genius. You know, when he does a joke, he sets it up. He has a funny punchline and he acts it out. Joey is everybody's uncle that's going to tell you a dirty joke. Everybody has that uncle that has pull your finger. Joey's, you know, Joey is everybody loves Joey. And Paul, he is the Latino community's Forrest Gump.
Yeah, that's a great way to explain him. I've seen him twice in concert, and I was just amazed at how, you know, the spontaneity of his jokes. And it's not always jokes, it's telling a story, it's you know, advocating or what have you, but it's just constant. It's just like, I'm like, wow, how does a mind work so fast? You know, the brain, it's really amazing.
I've hung out with Paul at his house. We're actually distant cousins. So, you know, his mom was a Gexiola, as he says. He gets mad when I say Gexiola.
One of the 42, right?
Yeah, and he has memorabilia It's not even memorabilia. He has a styrofoam cup that he mistakenly, Liz Taylor, when he was first introduced to Hollywood, he was at a big shindig, and Liz thought he was one of the waiters, and she asked Paul for some water. He grabs a styrofoam cup, takes it to her, and the host of the show was mortified and said, "Liz, I'm sorry, this is one of our new comedians." And she took the cup and drank from it and then gave it back to Paul, and it has Liz Taylor's lipstick on it. That's on Paul's shelf. So he has stories, and I tease him. I go, when I introduce Paul, I go, he's our Forrest Gump, because you cannot bring up Latino culture from the 70s on and Paul not be a part of it. He marched with Cesar Chavez. He knew Selena since she was a little girl. He was friends with the family. So he left the kids with La Llorona. Paul has been around.
Yeah. And that's why, when I heard the Latin Kings of Comedy was coming to Saginaw, I was really excited, because for Paul Rodriguez, like you said earlier, a legend. He really is. I mean, I don't know any other comedian that has had the career that he has, where he has been, at the forefront of so much history within our community. Cesar Chavez, Selena, all those names. I mean, he knew these people personally, and he, has really advocated for the Latino causes. And sometimes it's gotten him into trouble, and he mentioned that on my show. But for the most part, I would say, he has been always there for La Raza. He's been there,
Paul took a lot of heat for his political stances, but if you're from California or you've ever driven through the Central Valley, and Paul owns farmland, his family owns farmland, you see the farms dried out because of politics, where they're diverting the water, they're refusing to do certain things that would save the agriculture. And who works the agriculture? We do. Yeah. And, for him to stand up and go, this one party is blowing it, and people turn their backs on him, they don't see the big picture, that he's advocating for the farmer. He's advocating for the farm worker, the day laborer. And he took the bullets, but privately people are writing him saying, "We're sorry, Paul, you were right," because they can see the big picture now. It's amazing when you drive from the Bay Area to Southern California, you drive through dried out fields. And what happened to our agriculture?
Yeah. Well, Dennis, you have worked with the likes of Jamie Foxx and Gabriel Iglesias. What is it like for you out there in California as a comedian working with these big names?
Well, first of all, Gabriel, he's the real deal. What you see on stage, that's Gabe. And I actually physically look like his older brother. So I tease him that he's my big little brother. And I've known him since he started out, and he's everyday people. So when he's doing a family friendly show, he'll grab me. Jamie, when I was starting out, Jamie was already headlining clubs. And then I got to do a show with Jamie and Mark Curry when Mark Curry had Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Mark was the headliner, Jamie was featuring, and I opened. And that's when Jamie's management signed me and they started managing me. And Jamie's just, if you run into Jamie Foxx, hey, you good? You need anything? He's one of those kind of guys. And I treat all the people I work with as everyday people, and they appreciate it.
Well, you've definitely come a long way, and it's been about 20 years now that you've been in comedy, right?
I'm actually hitting 30 years.
30 years, wow.
Yeah, I was in the Air Force. I retired from the Air Force in 2005, but I started doing stand-up back in '92, and I was active duty Air Force, and I would get off work and I'd run somewhere to do some jokes. And for the last 10 years of my military career, I had two careers, Air Force and comedian. So it's been a fun ride.
Well, the Latino audience that you will see here in Saginaw on Saturday, and by any means, we're not just saying this is for Latinos, because everybody needs laughter. And so we're, inviting the whole greater Great Lakes Bay community. But what is different with Latino community as opposed to other comedy? What would you say?
First of all, I've always believed funny is funny, and all of us can work. If we went into, last weekend we were in, or 2 weekends ago we were in Atlantic City. There was a handful of Puerto Ricans, but it was an older Atlantic City audience, East Coast, different feel. And the comments after the show were amazing. We don't get this kind of comedy out here. So all of us can work for every audience. Gilbert was on BET, Black Entertainment Television. Gilbert was on there a handful of times. I did 9 episodes for them. Joey can work. Joey works a lot of cruise ships these days, where he can do a family show, he could do an adult show. So there's comedy for everybody. Funny is funny, and if you come out with us, you're gonna leave going, man, I want to see that again.
Awesome. Well, we'll be right back. We got to go into commercial, and we'll wrap it up with Dennis Gexiola.
Are you in the market for a new home, but saving enough for a down payment is holding you back? Members First Credit Union is offering a budget-minded mortgage solution that requires no down payment. No money down means you have the flexibility to buy a home without cash and finance up to 100% of the purchase price. To learn more about a no money down mortgage from Members First Credit Union, visit mfcu.net. All loans subject to credit approval. Equal housing opportunity lender.
Exceed your expectations of what makes a great paint or stain with Pittsburgh Paints and Stains from Menards. Now all 11% off with some of the most advanced technology like enhanced UV resistances, dirt shedding protection, and true one-coat coverage paint and primer in one. Finding your perfect paint or stain is easy. Get 11% off everything, including Pittsburgh Paints and Stains, now at Menards. Good through October 16th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Uma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Honey, I can't believe you gave me toe fungus.
I gave my wife toe fungus for the 3rd time. My doctor then told me that toe fungus is not just a cosmetic problem and that it can spread and get worse. He introduced me to a new and different routine that flushes out even the most difficult cases of fungus. It's called Crystal Flush. Call now, and for a limited time, you can try Crystal Flush risk-free for 30 days. Call 800-675-9431. That's 800-675-9431.
Welcome back. We're here with Dennis Gaxiola, and I just want to thank you so much for coming all the way from California to be on the show today on the Art Lewis Show, and it's been a pleasure. Everybody, thank you for allowing me to be your host this morning. Stay safe, stay healthy, and until next time, make sure you do get a hold of the Temple Theater so you can see Dennis and all the comedians, Paul Rodriguez and all his friends. Thank you so much, Dennis. We'll see you again. We'll see you Saturday.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for having me. Get your tickets, folks.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw.
This is CBS News.